slippery. Wow, this is beautiful. Hi folks, I'm Glenn.
I'm Maureen.
And today we are investigating the back 40 of our property, and we're going to be looking for a base camp that we'd like to set up over the next few weeks and into the springtime.
Yeah, and we'll be checking the trail cams along the way too.
And also we noticed that there's quite a few limbs and trees are down, so we're going to be keeping an eye open and looking up for a lot of those trees that are broken off and whatnot. We've had a windstorm and blizzard that blew through, so there's a lot of weight on a lot of the limbs, as you can see. Beautiful though. Well, that's not too bad slogging through there. No good for the snowshoes though, so
No.
there's not much point that we brought them, but once we get out into the open, if it is deeper snow, then we might need it then. It's pretty cold out right now. I think it's about -8 Celsius, something like that. It feels colder than what it is, but anyways, I think we're in for some bad weather. It doesn't look too good, and we may end up cutting this trip short. I don't want to get caught way out into the back 40, and we're already far enough out as it is that maybe what we'll do is we'll make a loop around and then come back, head back to the cabin. Anyway, it has been pretty cold. I think the pond is frozen right over. Most of the lakes are pretty well all froze up now, and it's kind of dicey. It depends on the lake that you go on. You know, when I was a kid, I remember asking an old timer, how do you know when the ice is good, like safe enough that you can go on it? And he said, when the tourists stop falling in, it's good. No, usually you have to test the ice. It's 6 inches or so, 4 to 6 inches is good, and that's safe. So anyway, we're not going on the ice today. So we'll just venture out to see what the wetland is like and see how it looks from that vantage point.
And look for some tracks. I've seen a few tracks. It looks like moose have been by.
Ooh, it is cold. It's a bitterly cold wind coming. And, it's so cold. I think the squirrels are skinny. They're not eating that much because they can't find their nuts. The nuts are buried in the snow. So... here. Fire. Well, I'm not sure how our fire in a can idea is going to work. We got the torch in there and we got the coffee on. We'll see what happens here. And I think I see a little bit of steam coming out of the top of that coffee pot already, so that's a good thing. Over the last few weeks, Maureen and I have been talking about the situation globally and this pandemic that we're in, and the reoccurrence of yet another wave, more restrictions, more lockdowns, and we kind of anticipated that that would be happening, eh, Maureen?
We did, and we prepared for it.
So we've decided that in light of the situation with all the lockdowns and everything, that we've decided to do a repeat of what we did last year. And last year we wanted to have, at least 6 weeks worth of stocks all supplied so that we wouldn't have to go to the grocery store and whatnot to resupply. And we're anticipating doing that once again. We're going to be staying inside of our gate for the most part, other than the odd little venture out and whatnot, but it won't be going into town for shopping or any of that type of stuff. So we're going to be keeping to ourselves, and we are all stocked up, so we'll just see how that all works out over the next few weeks. And we're going to challenge ourselves to see if we can hunker down at the cabin and at the homestead and see how many days that we can get by. We'll keep you posted. I'll let you know how things are going with the stocks and how the supplies are going, what we're running out of, and all that kind of stuff. And looks like we got a coffee on a brew here, Maureen, that's working out quite well.
Yeah.
It's holding its own.
It's percolating.
We are perking.
When we go for our walks through the woods like this, especially when I see the squirrels, it always reminds me of our first camping trip when just after we were married, we went out in the woods and Glenn says, it'll be good, camping in the forest on the Crown land. And the first night I kept hearing the leaves rustling and I thought it was like the bears coming to get us. And then I'd wake up Glenn and I'd say, the bears are coming. And it's the squirrels. I tell you, it's the squirrels. The bears don't run through the leaves. They walk on the leaves. So I always remember that when we come for these walks, that the bears are quiet and stealthful.
I said, believe me, if a bear's coming, you won't hear him. Oh, I think my coffee's about ready to pour.
I think so.
So we had a viewer comment one of our recent videos with our how to make fire starter and from recycled materials, and the viewer had commented saying, what if you recycled your wax and made that into a candle and then used the cooking oil as lamp oil. And we thought that was a pretty good idea. So we may have to try that, eh, Maureen?
Yeah. How was the coffee?
It's hot. That's good. Maureen was telling you her bear story. I got a bear story too, as a matter of fact. I remember it was one beautiful summer night. It was early evening when we started off on a nice little jaunt through the bush, and we Maureen had her backpack with her, and we were walking through the bush, and I heard a noise that I thought sounded like a bear that was being threatened, like as if we were too near to it, and it was popping its jaw, kind of a blop, blop, blop kind of a sound. And I stopped Maureen and I said, listen, I think I hear a bear. And we listened and no, nothing, didn't hear anything. So we kept on walking, and all of a sudden, blop, 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 I heard it again. We listened, no, it stopped. So we kept on walking again, and then I heard it again. I said, I don't know what it is. And we stooped down. I said, just crouch down for a minute and let's just be still and quiet. And as she crouched down and leaned beside me, her water bottle went glop, glop, glop. It was just her water bottle. So another one of those false alarms, right?
But now I know what to listen for, though, in case there's ever a bear.
Yeah. Well, that fire's working out pretty nice. I can feel the warmth right from here. Good.
It's nice. It's drying out my mitts a bit.
With the landscape fully transformed by a white blanket of fresh snow, it truly is a winter wonderland. And as we trudge along, and take in the rugged beauty of the wilderness, we're awestruck and continue to be amazed by the sheer glory of being able to witness the jaw-dropping scenery. We bathe in the peace and serenity that presents itself. And all that is required of us is to simply be right there, to be present in the here and now, taking in each moment and savoring the experience. As we venture along looking for fresh tracks from active wildlife, we become hyper-aware of not only the rugged beauty, but also of the sheer remoteness, pure nature, free of roads and very little development of any kind except for the cabin trail leading to our off-grid cabin in the woods. There's too much snow to choose a level spot for our outpost shelter at this time, but that'll come in the spring when snows recede and the landscape is revealed once again. As we check our trail cameras, we wonder if they've produced some images of wildlife, and we hope the batteries haven't died since it's been so bitterly cold the last few days. Temperatures hitting a frigid minus 29 Celsius at times. This recent cold snap has frozen the lakes and rivers and ponds, and there's risk of frostbite to unprotected skin after being exposed for just a few minutes. That's a very real concern when trekking through the wilderness with no shelter nearby. We're very aware of the danger of exposure, and we respect nature. We dress accordingly, and we carry the makings of fire with us for our own safety. We use our skills and self-reliance, and we depend on each other as well to help carry us through the challenges and hardships that come with the territory. Without those challenges and hardships, it just wouldn't be the same place. If getting around in the wilderness was easy with groomed trails and comfort stations along the way, it wouldn't be the same experience. If everything is convenient and free of challenges on a day-to-day basis, our lifestyle wouldn't be the same. There's value in experiencing the struggles of day-to-day life in the rugged wilderness, and we've learned to go with the flow. And speaking of extreme cold temperatures, the filming of the rest of our excursion was stopped in its tracks abruptly when the batteries failed. It's simply just too cold. That brings us to the end of this episode. Please subscribe. We'll see you next time. For Maureen, I'm Glenn. Take care. Over and out.